Look at a modern commercial airplane and you'll see a masterpiece of backups. If an engine fails, you have another. If a computer dies, a second one wakes up instantly. But helicopters? Helicopters are a completely different beast. They don't glide naturally. They stay in the air by violently beating the air into submission. And for decades, the lives of millions of pilots and passengers rested entirely on the strength of one surprisingly small piece of metal. A single fastener with a nickname so grim, it has become aviation legend. Welcome back to Simple Things Surprising Histories. Today, we are looking at the terrifying, brilliant engineering behind the Jesus nut, the single bolt that keeps helicopters in the sky. To understand this story, we have to travel back to the 1960s during the Vietnam War, the era of the iconic Bell UH-1 Huey helicopter. The Huey revolutionized aviation, but its design featured a terrifying engineering quirk. In engineering, there is a term called a single point of failure. It means exactly what it sounds like. If this one specific part breaks, the entire system collapses. No backups, no secondary safety nets. Sitting at the very top of the rotor mast, right above the spinning blades, was a large retaining nut officially called the main rotor head nut. Its job was simple but absolute. Hold the entire main rotor head to the helicopter. If that single nut loosened or shattered mid-flight, the entire rotor assembly would instantly detach. The helicopter would drop from the sky like a stone. The soldiers who rode in these machines knew this, and so they gave it a dark, fitting nickname, the Jesus nut. Because if it failed, the only thing left to do was pray to Jesus. So how big was this legendary piece of metal holding a massive aircraft together? You might imagine something the size of a tire, but the Jesus nut on a Huey was surprisingly small, just a few inches across. How do you make sure a single piece of threaded metal doesn't vibrate loose on a machine that shakes as violently as a helicopter? The secret was in the safety protocols. The nut wasn't just tightened with incredible force. Mechanics used a fail-safe method. They installed a thick steel cotter pin or heavy-duty safety wire straight through the nut and the mast. For the nut to spin off, it would have to literally shear through solid steel first. Before every single flight, the pilot or flight engineer would climb up to the top of the aircraft. They wouldn't just look at it, they would physically touch the Jesus nut to ensure the pin was intact. It became a sacred, non-negotiable pre-flight ritual. But did the Jesus nut ever actually fail? Historically, almost never. While helicopters did crash due to combat damage or other mechanical issues, the Jesus nut itself was an engineering triumph. The safety wire system worked exactly as intended. However, as aviation advanced, engineers wanted to eliminate single points of failure entirely. If you look at modern helicopters today, like the Black Hawk or the Apache, you won't find a single Jesus nut. Instead, modern rotor systems use a redundant array of multiple heavy-duty bolts. If one fails, the others take the load. The original, terrifying design has been phased out in favor of safety through numbers. Yet, the phrase lives on. In engineering and tech circles today, any single part that can bring down an entire system is still quietly referred to as a Jesus nut. It's a powerful reminder of our history. Sometimes, the most massive, complex machines in the world rely entirely on the smallest, simplest things to keep them together. If you enjoyed this flight into aviation history, please hit that like button, share this video with a friend, and subscribe to Simple Things Surprising Histories for more. Until next time, keep looking at the simple things around you.